Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Business Growth Made Easy podcast. My name is Maria Fontana. I am your host, and I have an amazing guest today, Dr. Colleen Georges. Hi, Colleen. How are you?
I'm doing great, Maria. I'm really excited to be with you today.
Oh, thank you so much. So a little bit about Colleen. You know what? How about if Colleen tells us what she is? She's one of my favorite mentors. She is an amazing, impactful human being who has helped so many people change their lives. She's going to tell you a little bit about herself, and then we're going to share some really amazing and impactful strategies with you guys to help you work on your self-talk and your goal-setting strategies, which I think are things that all of us can use, right, Kyle? So tell the audience about yourself.
So I'm Colleen. I am a life coach and a career coach, a speaker. I also I authored a book. It won 8 awards. That was pretty fun.
So awesome. That is so amazing. That's a big deal. It's a great book, guys. I suggest you grab a copy.
And I'm a mom. I have an 11-year-old son and a wife. I live in Piscataway, New Jersey. And also I teach at Rutgers University. I teach counseling and women's leadership courses. And I have been doing counseling and coaching now for 24 years, a long time, and teaching just about as long. So and a lot of my work, I work with lots of different folks, but a lot of my work is really based in self-talk and how we just change the conversation that we have with ourselves and about ourselves. Because it ain't just what you say to yourself. It's really kind of like, getting to pay attention to what you're saying to other people about yourself and your life too. Because that means a lot too.
Oh, absolutely. So I want you guys, I want my audience, everyone who's listening, anyone yes, this is all about business growth made easy. But guess what, guys? If you're not monitoring your mindset, you're not monitoring your self-talk, and you're not setting goals the right way, the way Colleen's going to share with us, getting to those numbers and those profits that you want is going to be so much harder. And take it from me, I have worked personally with Colleen. We have worked hand in hand with busting through some of my limiting beliefs, some of the things that held me back at the beginning of my journey. And I'm not embarrassed to say it. So let's hear, tell us a little bit about, what do you think the 2 tips that my audience can implement to shift their self-talk and figure out how to really snap out of it when they start talking bad to themselves?
There's so many different things, in terms of like how we do that. I find that, some of the top things that I find in people that I work with are imposter syndrome, right?
We get that a lot in our industry too.
Very much, right? And I would say that it's a lot when you're starting a business, but it doesn't just stop once you've had your business for a long time, right? We do it too, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're all guilty as charged.
We're all guilty, right? So I think that, when it comes to imposter syndrome, that idea that whether it's that you're starting a business and you're feeling like, I don't know enough, I don't have the right education, the right background, the right credentials, the right experience, the right whatever, or if it's that you've had your business for a long time and now you're about to embark on something new, start a new project, you're going to launch a new product, you're going to launch a new service, and you're thinking like, who's going to buy that from me? Who am I to talk about? I think that one of the most important things in terms of when you catch yourself asking like, who am I to, I don't have, I'm not blank enough, I'm not, whatever it is, it's really being able to catch yourself. And this is with any kind of self-talk. It's getting more, it's not that you have to stop that it starts in the first place, right? It's called automatic thoughts for a reason, because they're automatic. It's just being able to, when you notice you're doing that, like I say, first of all, write down what you're saying to yourself, right? Write it down. And then, then write a response to it. And I think it's best to write a response when you're in a great mood, when you've had like a great day, when you've had like a kick-ass day and you did like a bunch of stuff that you feel really good about. That's the day that you look back at your list of stuff you crap talk yourself. Mm-hmm. And now let's write responses back to it, like respond and use that energy. Use the energy of like, what did I do today? Or that's making me feel so good about myself, making me feel confident. And how am I going to write this differently so that the next time that automatic thought, or as I call it, an inner antagonist kind of comes in, right? And tries to crap talk you and shut you down, that you can go, and I always say your name. Like I'll be like, no, Colleen, we're not doing that. And then, go back to get that pad out wherever you wrote it down, and practice saying those things to yourself. And until it becomes ingrained, until the next time it happens, you've got it ready to go. And that's a new automatic response that you have, that you can say, no, you know what? I do got this. And you know why I got this? Because look what I did yesterday. Describe it to yourself. Remind yourself. Like, I think we straight got to pep talk ourselves. Like, every time you catch yourself shutting yourself down, like, pep talk yourself. That's one thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that idea. Every day I decided many years ago in my healing journey, I'm going to write down 5 things before I go to bed that I did right. Because people seem to like forget about what we did right, Oh
my God.
So what else are your thoughts on like goal setting? What kind of like really pertinent advice can you give my busy, successful salon owners, entrepreneurs, holistic practitioners, wellness practitioners? So mostly service providers who are constantly giving, like yourself. We're constantly giving, and sometimes our own goals get, the rug gets pulled out from under us, right? Because we're so busy giving and doing and helping and running a business and taking care of a family. So tell me your thoughts on that.
Ooh, I mean, first of all, I feel like, right, there's the urgent, and there's the non-urgent, and the non-urgent is often like, that's your passion projects. That's that product you want to work on, that service you want to work on, that new thing you want to do. It's the thing that you're excited about and you really, really want to do it. And you think that this could be really awesome and really helpful to my business. I think if I do this, this could be an awesome thing. But if you don't do it, the world ain't going to end. No one's going to not pay you. No one's going to be mad at you but you. So it's like, it's not urgent, right? And then there's the things we, have to do. It's the things, and not to say that we don't want to do those things, but it's like, if you just start canceling all your appointments with your clients, well, you ain't got a business, right? That's a have to do. If you, you have a doctor's appointment, you got to go to that. There's things we got to do because there's like a consequence. So I feel like one of the things, and there's a lot of different things, but one thing in terms of like what you just said, it's so easy to get derailed, is I believe I'm very much like on every Sunday, and I tell my clients to do this. I'm actually in the process of creating like a purchasable planner for it with my little I'm so like, this is my passion project right now, is like, I make a to-do list every Sunday that says professional, personal, passions. It's 3 columns. Love professional, right, is if you're in school, that could be your school and education goals. If it's work, it's, it's your work goals. Personal, that's like, again, you got to call the doctor, you got to call the mechanic, blah, blah, blah. And then passions falls into any category. It could be that you have some passions you've decided that you really have a goal that you want to start, being better about connecting with your friends and your family. Right. And it's like, you want to start texting or calling or doing a Zoom chat with your girlfriends or whatever more frequently, or if it's for your business, it's, again, it's like, it's the steps that you need to take in order to start working towards that big project you got. Put them in your passions column and start paying attention to what gets crossed off. Right. You'll notice, if you notice that your personal and your professional columns, your urgent stuff, it's got lots of like crosses through it. And then your passions column ain't got jack crossed off. Right. Right. And then make an appointment with yourself, because client meetings are in your calendar, right? Your doctor's appointments in your calendar. It's in your Google Calendar, your planner, whatever. But are text so-and-so, call so-and-so, your friend that you haven't talked to in, 6 months, is, take step one, research blank for this new project you want to work on. Is that in your calendar at 2:00 on Friday? Like, have you slated time? It's like, make an appointment with yourself, make something that's not urgent. Treat it like it matters, like you actually care about it.
So it's ironic you're saying this. So this was pivotal in my personal development, in my journey, actually putting my own self-care in the calendar. Yeah. It didn't mean, people think self-care means like you have to go get a manicure, a pedicure. Yeah, those things are cool, but self-care meant doing something just for me. If it meant hiding in the bathroom with the door shut when the kids were little and reading a book or whatever, putting a candle on, but that was pivotal. So in Rescripting Your Story, which in your book, you really talk about this a lot. So I just want one powerful takeaway from Rescript Your Story that will whatever you want to share with the audience, because I know everyone that's listening, this is going to impact their lives and it's really going to shift them to a place of growth. So I'd love for you to share what propelled you to write that book? What was, or, tell me more about it.
Yeah, thank you. What propelled me to write it was, my own issues. That would always propel us to write things. I had awful self-esteem for a long time. I kind of hated myself at periods of my life. I really beat myself up over mistakes, whether it was academically or professionally or personally. It was all the above. Largely that, I would say my teenage years and my 20s were really fraught with just being nasty to myself. And I had panic attacks, and I had like TMJ from grinding my teeth, and I had awful neck pain and back pain and all kinds of just physical, manifestations of stress and anxiety. And that was how I began. When you said before, Maria, about at the end of the day, like, what are some things that I am proud of myself for doing today? I often recommend gratitude. Well, I don't often. I recommend gratitude practices to every client I work with, but that's one of the things that I recommend. And it's my other passion project. I'm making a guided gratitude journal.
We're so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I know you're going to make me get one as a beta tester, right, girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I'm like plotting it out. I'm like, okay, what do I want? What should people? But that's one of the things I suggest is, what are you grateful for that you accomplished today? And like, to not be lofty about it. It doesn't have to be like a big thing. It could be that you finally applied for one job if you're a job seeker. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it's those little things. So really, like, what have I accomplished today? But that gratitude practice that I started at that time in my life, as well as really starting to pay attention to my own self-talk and changing the way that I talked to myself and about myself back in my mid-20s, as well as the to-do list that I just talked about, that's been tweaked over the years, but I've been doing that for 21 years this year, every Sunday. It's those practices that really changed everything. It's the reason, I feel like, strategy wise, for me, catastrophizing is the hardest thing. Right. And it is, I know it's for a lot of folks, and, right. And I feel like I call myself a recovering catastrophizer, because I joke that given the right circumstances, I can still catastrophize like nobody's business. When this pandemic started, I was like, this is the apocalypse. God is angry.
You totally went down the rabbit hole.
I went down the rabbit hole. But, again, it's being able to catch yourself in those moments. And that was a practice I started at that time. And I really thought, I've worked with people for 20 something years, students and clients alike. And it's like, so many people ruminating, catastrophizing, crap talking themselves, looking at all their, perceived shortcomings. being too perfectionistic, feeling deprived in their lives, like avoiding their goals because they're terrified. Like, all these things. I'm trying to think, did I miss any of my letters in rescripting? Regretting things. There's the other letter.
Oh yeah.
And that's what RESCRIPT is. It's an acronym for just the things that I've personally experienced and seen others experience that, just really shut you down. And it's really that life is going to throw what it throws at you, that we don't control that part. And we have to learn how to live with the ambiguity and the surprise of life, which isn't always good surprises. And we have to learn how to be self-compassionate during times of not good surprise. And we have to learn how to be kind and compassionate with others in times of not good surprise too. We have to learn how to self-protect, and we have to learn how to be our own best advocate instead of our own worst enemy.
Absolutely. And I think what's most important in closing this discussion is that the proof is in the pudding. I speak openly about my own healing and personal development in my life. You are a product of your own personal healing. The good news is, guys, everyone listening, anyone watching this, wherever you may be in the world, you have the power to follow Colleen's strategies, Colleen's teachings. Anyone who can help you heal. And by healing yourself and rescripting your story, as Dr. Colleen says, you can rescript your whole life, because guess what? You are never going to create those massive profits and reduce your stress if you're not talking nice to yourself and rescripting that story of limitation, lack, hate, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, Paul, is there anywhere anything specific you'd like to tell us? Where can we find your book? I want to just tell you, find your book before we say goodbye today.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's on Amazon, and it's called Rescript the Story You're Telling Yourself: The 8 Practices to Quiet Your Inner Antagonist, Amplify Your Inner Advocate, and Live Author a Limitless Life. And it's also on my website, which is www.Colleen, 2 L's, 2 E's, Georges, George with an S, .com. And Maria, you're so right. It's just like, if we could really learn that we rock, like, stop looking, we're all flawed. We all got our issues. Who cares?
Bullshit. Just
right. Who cares? Like, and I'm with you on this one too. I got a coach. You got right.
I have a squad full of coaches.
Yeah.
We all need coaches, mentors, healers, therapists, whatever it is that you need help with. I have a whole team.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you realize, like, like, social media, that ain't my thing, I don't want to do that, get somebody that helps you with that, like, whatever it is, like. But in terms of support, it's like, we learn from everybody. And I'm like, I love seeing all the stuff you're doing love doing on social media. And I'm just like, oh man, Maria's so good at that. Like, I could really, that's a good idea. That's what matters. Yeah, that's what matters. And learn to admire others. Right?
Yes.
Don't compare yourself to other people and be like, oh, I don't do that, I suck. Be like, that's a great strategy. Maybe I got something to learn. She's awesome. I want to learn from her. Reach out to people. Be like, I love what you're doing. How you did that. Yeah.
I think that's so powerful, and especially in the business world. So I'm going to say, like, this was a great conversation. I think you are just so full of value and so full of amazing information. You're such a professional and awesome. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I just want to tell all you guys, we're going to drop everything in the description, how you can reach Colleen if you'd like to make a consultation call with her. She's an amazing, amazing coach if you'd like to work on rescripting your story, because like I said, a lot of times clients will start working with me on their business, and I like simultaneously for them to have someone who's working on their personal development, because it is really groundbreaking when you do that. So all the links are below. I want you guys to reach out to Colleen, purchase a copy of her book, and start making some amazing changes. Col, thank you so much for joining us today. You were amazing.
Thank you so much, Maria. I love anytime I get to collaborate with you. I think you're one of the most amazing human beings, and you rock, and this has been awesome.
Love you, baby. Take care. All right. I'll talk to you soon.